All the life I need is the ball at my feet. Who said that quote? The only famous soccer player, Brazilian, that a lot of people know him. His name is Ronaldinho. Hi, my name is Juan Franco, and I'm going to be talking about the history and a little bit about the World Cup, like little stories and backgrounds, as my informative speech. The World Cup is not just a common cup; it's a cup where a lot of people and countries, teams, soccer teams, um, battle out to achieve a World Cup. And it's so crazy how many teams and the fans are very attached to it because it's every 4 years, so it's not every year where you're like, oh, we have a World Cup, oh, next year a World Cup. No, it's every 4 years. And when those 4 years are up and when it's time for a World Cup, everybody is ready and focused to just watch the game or even be playing the game for the soccer players. Um, the game is really crazy for every those 4 years because it's always a new team that's surprising the audience or like even the like of other teams and other people. So every 4 years, don't expect it to be, the same teams making it to the finals. Always going to most likely be different teams. And, sometimes teams that you don't think that they might make it, like you start doubting them, those teams would turn you into believers that they could make it because they're actually putting their heart into the game. FIFA has calculated the amount of billions of views. Why? Because honestly, I feel like because soccer is so international. Like, obviously, a lot of people are gonna watch the World Cup, especially when it means a lot. And um, it's no matter where you go, it's most likely like soccer is one of the most common played sports. And what I'm going to be covering is the history of soccer, how the World Cup started, where was it first like game at, and the team that who commonly makes the World Cup and why they're always qualifying. And last but not least, for the players and the views of like how and why they're so emotional to the game of the viewers. But first, let's just talk about the history of the World Cup. The World Cup is a tournament where all the qualification people slash teams make it and battle out to see who's the best country in the world. FIFA is a Federation International of Football Association organized the World Cup in Uruguay in 1930. What kind of off about the World Cup is that it's held every 4 years, so you have to have the patience to wait to see the World Cup. Except when during World War II is when they expanded it to after the World War II ended. But the competition consists of international selections tournament leading the final elimination event made up to 32 national teams. For example, the first World Cup and the final was two teams, Uruguay versus Argentina. The team that won the World Cup in 1930 was Uruguay, even when they hosted it in Uruguay, so that means a lot to them. But look, after that 4 years were up, the next 4 years came. The final was Italy and Czechoslovakia in 1934. So, like I said, like don't always be expected to have the same teams to make it every year. And like, look, in 1938, Italy again made it to the finals, but Hungary was playing against Italy in the final. So and so on. Like it's gonna be different teams. That's why the World Cup every 4 years will be a new season, new talent, new fresh like people that you never met. But World Cup shows who you are and how much like you care about your team, your country, and the cup. So like I said, so the tournament of the World Cup, be surprised because there'll be many teams that you will be shocked that will make it. Now I'm gonna talk about the most common teams that makes the World Cup. The most common teams that makes the World Cup is like either Brazil, England, Italy, Mexico, Spain, Argentina, Peru, Sweden, France, Netherlands, Germany, and Croatia, Africa, Nigeria, and so many more. But those are the most common top teams that usually everyone knows that they make. Um, Just know that only 32 teams can only qualify. The competition serves most nearly as a contest between the world's best teams and also the world's best players. For example, Brazil has the most cup wins. They have a total of World Cup wins. Why is that? Many say because they have many talent. For example, in 2002 World Cup, if you were a football person, you know why they had the best squad because they had the most famous people and great players like Ronaldinho, Kaká, Carlos Roberto, Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, the other Ronaldo, Cafu, Lucio, and like many more talent. Like everybody knew that that was the best 2002 World Cup squad ever, and everyone had that feeling that Brazil would win the World Cup or they will be like for sure that they're gonna make it to the final. But everyone has loved to see all the talent players play together in the cup, and that they go crazy about it. And if you watch like a World Cup and televised, or if you even go actually in the stadium and watch them play, you will see like, oh my God, like everybody goes nuts for it. Like it's that's what a World Cup is. That's how what everybody's grateful for. They're grateful to watch the team, and then the teammates and team members are grateful that they make the World Cup, and then they're doing this for the audience because that's how much love and care they have for the team. But now I'm gonna be talking about the views. Watching the World Cup shows how many people really care about their country. For example, the recent World Cup that was hosted in 2018 in Russia, it was the final was televised was 516.6 million views. FIFA also said that more than 3.5 billion people viewed some of the 2018 World Cup, with 1.12 billion people watching at least 1 minute of France beating Croatia 4-2 in the final. Many people around the world would actually travel to the the country where the World Cup is hosted just to watch the team play. Even though that's the club may be a small club team, but they will always have those fans that will be supporting them. Like for example, let's give Peru an example. Peru goes plays the World Cup, which they did. They were in it. But when they looked in the stands and when televising wise, when you see the stands, all you saw was a lot of Peruvians wearing the Peruvian shirt, yelling, going nuts. Like they were like, "Oh, let's go!" Like cheering on and on and on and on, and like it just that just shows a lot of respect, and then that gives respect for the players to know like, okay, we're not alone. We have people because that's how a team is. Like if it's not I in the World Cup, it's always gonna be we, us. Like if we are cheering each other up, we could probably make it to the final. That's how one of the famous soccer players talked about. I forgot his name, but he was talking about that how it's a World Cup. It's about family that it brings everybody together to see if you have that heart to bring it at the field and so forth and more. The players they do get really emotional because it's every 4 years. It's something they've been working hard for, and that like they get really so attached to. Even with uh, Even with the loss, they get a little upset. They start to cry sometimes, or even for a win because they they know like we put so much hard work into this that we won and we deserved it because hard work is what mostly is key in soccer is hard work and dedication. Um, an example is that Mexico was going against Germany in the 2018 World Cup. I remember I was there watching it with my family, and my brother was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a good game, but let's go Mexico. We got this," because Germany was actually co-champions from 2014 World Cup. So we were kind of little nervous about it, but obviously we still went for our country because that's what we believe. We believe that they could win. So yeah, they played it out. Mexico was actually surprisingly out possessing them, which means that they had more touches on the ball than Germany, and that they were actually shocking people. Throughout the first half, they finally scored a goal, and literally everyone in the stands I saw was like going crazy. Beers was going everywhere. They were crying. They were like, "Oh my God, like we scored!" Even the players are getting emotional, and it was just it was nuts. And then me experiencing it in my household, my family were going nuts too. My brother was getting a little teary about it because it's Mexico versus Germany. It's something that shocked everybody. And then the game went for the more. And when you were watching the game, um, we saw how the players were actually putting their effort into the game because they really wanted that win. They like really, Ichogana put more and more effort to the matches because they really wanted that win. And after the game was over, Mexico, they were saying congratulations, to each other, saying good game to everybody. What I noticed is that when the camera guy was going through each player's like expression was different. One was super happy, one was very sad. One of the oldest, I think he's the oldest player member named Chicharito. He was getting teary because that's like he can't believe they won that game. Like they put so much effort that they won that game, and he knew that he truly deserved that win. And it also brings us chills and stuff when we saw that. When my brother saw that, like it gave us chills. We were getting a little emotional too because we did it as as a we, not as an I. But in conclusion, the World Cup is it could be for anyone, even though if you're not a big soccer fan. Like if you just go to a stadium, wear a United States jersey, watching your team battling out, going against another team, country, it just It's crazy, and then a lot of people like to get involved together, even though they're from separate countries. They love to get involved, um, and it just brings like people happy, and then also for the teammates, like it shows them like, oh, this is what we're doing. We're creating family right here, which is a good thing. But never doubt your country. You know, always go for your country, um, because that's where you were. Not well, if you're originally from there, you're from there. Or if you grew up with that like countryside or race, then you should still support it. Or you can support some other team. Doesn't really matter. But but representing something that you love of what the sport you're playing, or even like a different type of sport, it shows a lot of like care and courage for you to do, and that it's just it shows a lot of like commitment that you have for your country. So like you don't have doubt for them. You actually believe, even though they may be the worst club in the whole world, but you still believe. And yeah, I just feel like the players also see that as a good way of respect for them, because you're watching them score, and then they all go happy and everybody's happy, and it's just a great feeling for yourself and for the players. It will literally bring a smile to your face, like no doubt. And yeah, thank you for listening to my speech. I'll see you guys again.